Today I'm with the captain of the National Paralympic Wheelchair Basketball Team, Mr. David Eng. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So when exactly are the Paralympics?
Paralympics are actually right after the Olympics, so it's usually 2 weeks. Most people think that the Paralympics are the same time as Special Olympics, but it's different. Paralympics is actually athletes that have a physical disability. Okay. Paralympics stands for para, means beside of, which is a lot of people confound that for like paraplegic, but it's not paraplegic. You got all types of disabilities in the Paralympics.
And what's your disability?
I got minimal disability for wheelchair basketball. I have my left leg is almost 4 centimeters shorter than my right. So you can see me walking without the chair in my wheelchair. But once I get to sports where I can't really jump or run at a high level of competition, so I need a wheelchair to compete.
And how did you get into playing basketball? What made you decide to be part of this team?
Well, actually, when I was younger, I was in a shopping mall with my parents, and I saw this Michael Jordan video, and I fall in love with, I got the passion right there. I wanted to play basketball. The only reference that I had was my uncle. He has polio, and he used to play wheelchair basketball, so he was the one that started me, giving me my first teachings in basketball, and that's how I started, and I just kept playing wheelchair basketball ever since.
So, how does it work in terms of the wheelchair? Does it have to be a certain height, a certain length? The wheels have to be special? How does it work?
There's regulation. There's different regulations for the wheelchair. There's a certain height that you can't exceed. The cushion has to be a certain thickness, and it's a certain size of wheels and stuff. If you look at the chair, it's quite different than like a hospital chair. The wheels are slanted. That's because it helps turning faster, get more balance, and when you're pushing, actually your hands are not actually touching other people's wheelchair also, so it protects your fingers. It's not a rule that you have to have a seatbelt, but it really helps for control of the wheelchair. You can turn your chair with the waist.
And what's the toughest or biggest challenge getting used to playing wheelchair basketball? What do you have to be ready to do?
The biggest challenge also to compare to wheelchair basketball and stand-up basketball is if you play stand-up basketball as you run, your arms are always fresh, and you could use your arms to shoot, because the power comes from the legs. As in wheelchair basketball, you got to always push. You're doing everything with your arms, so you're pushing really hard. And when you come to shoot, well, you actually have to slow down and be able to still have that little fine touch on your ball.
So later on in the show, he's going to show us his whole workout routine, and he maybe give you some tricks on how to get those big arms like Superman right here. Stay tuned. We are back with David Eng, captain of the National Paralympic Wheelchair Basketball Team, and his trainer, Mr.
Alex Babin.
How you doing, Mr. Babin?
Very good, thank you.
Intense training.
It's very intense. To train a wheelchair athlete, you got to look at what the sport looks like. You got to look at the movements that are involved within the sport, and obviously for wheelchair basketball, it's a lot of pushing. If you notice, if you look at David's triceps, you'll notice that the tricep is very, very well developed, and that's from years of pushing. So obviously the training has to simulate the movements that he does on court and stimulate the right muscles so that he gets stronger, faster, and more powerful.
In terms of wheelchair basketball, in basketball, just traveling, you can dribble as much as you want. How does it work for wheelchair basketball?
All the rules are the same. Big major difference is how you travel with the ball. Well, there's no double dribble in wheelchair basketball, and so once you stop dribbling, you can dribble again. Okay. To be able to move around with the ball is like 2 pushes. Once you do 3 pushes on your wheel or direction change without putting the ball on the floor, this is called a travel for wheelchair basketball.
And what's the national team ranked in the world compared to the rest?
Canada, actually, we've been one of the powerhouse in the world for the last 2 decades. We won gold in Sydney 2000, we won gold in Athens 2004, silver in 2008, and now we're going to London this summer to the Paralympics to go get back another gold medal.
Okay. Now inside the key, you did a move there when your wheelchair was on one leg.
Yeah, on one wheel. This is called tilting. It's a technique that we have for wheelchair basketball, which is really important because since we can't jump, a lot of it has to do with height. So it enables the player to, on defense, to get closer to try to block a shot, and also on offense to get away from the defender and get a little bit extra height.
You were mentioning also there's wheelchair leagues across the world, and also you play for University of Texas.
Yes, I did. I played for University of Texas Arlington for 4 years. I had a full scholarship there from 2002 to 2006. In the States, in the United States, they have a college league, which is really, really great caliber, and they got really good levels. They got high school leagues, yeah, and they got NWBA also, which is some teams of the NBA actually have their own wheelchair basketball team. In Europe, there's a pro league where actually players can go overseas and get paid to play. And here in Canada, we got different levels of wheelchair basketball, different leagues. We got like juniors, we got mini basketball where they play with 8 feet baskets, and nationals, provinces, leagues, and stuff.
Well, you know, I learned a lot today. Good luck in London. Thank you very much. And bring home the gold for us.
For sure.
The captain.